That's right. It's the morning show right here on KVVB TV, channel 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and also YouTube Live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Pretty soon we'll be ready and live with our ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM radio audience. Sometimes people ask me, how come we're not live on radio at the same time? It's because they have a block of news from ABC News Radio, so they have that first 5-minute block in Radio Land, and that's why we do a re-intro. So there you go. That's the story over there. The story on today, big show planned for you. I'm so excited about this. I've been waiting for a couple weeks to get this guest on. She's so busy and so popular, actually. And in her latest book, Dr. Brooke Goldner talks about goodbye lupus. And for those of you that know somebody that suffers from lupus, it is a terrible disease. It is one that people say, just why would we want to have this and continue this? And yet goodbye, how can you say goodbye to lupus? Well, Dr. Brooke Goldner will join us a little bit later on in the show and give us her tips and how she helps people all the time get through their immune disorder or so many different things. Herself was diagnosed with systemic lupus with stage 4 kidney disease at 16 years old. She made a startling discovery from that disease. 28 years now, she has a new protocol that she puts into place using supermarket food. She's been symptom-free ever since, with normal lab results and no trace of disease in her body. So we'll be talking to her around the corner. Very excited about that. Also, we got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
And so how was your weekend? I understand you had kind of like a preemptive strike over there when it comes to like being thankful over there.
Oh, yeah, we had an early Thanksgiving, and it was fun. Got to spend time with my cousins, who I rarely see.
See, that's nice. That's nice because it's true. Like, you know, families and, you know, there's families that spend families over here. And it's hard to do it all in one day, right? I know of families that do that. They like go and festive at one and then they go to another one. And then, you know, on the weekend, they're trying to work off all the calories that they, you know, went ahead. Because you don't want to, you don't want to be mean to anybody, right? You don't want to say no. Thank you. I'm on a diet. You never want to say that. All right,
No.
we're going to take a break here. We got some tips also for this holiday season that you may want to listen to, including travel tips coming up around the corner right after these messages. Stay tuned. All right, we are back and we are on our commercial break over there. We appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Let's bring up the comments, shall we? Let's see here on Periscope. Let's see. Where's my Periscope feed? So if this is your first time, this is our behind-the-scenes break. And Jesse, what was your favorite thing to eat this weekend? What does your family cook? What's like the go-to?
It's usually just the basics: turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, rolls. We had like 4 or 5 different types of pies.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, that's always a good thing.
How do you do
Variety.
4 or 5 different types of? Wait, so like what kind? Like, so if this is your first time,
apple, cherry, banberry, and pumpkin. I think was number 4.
Yeah, I told you Costco has a great deal. $5.99 for it's bigger than, you know, you would think like a tiny little pumpkin pie. It's a huge pumpkin pie.
It's huge.
Yeah. Oh, you saw it. Somebody probably got it.
I've seen it before. It's ginormous.
Yeah, it is. It's and well worth it. Well worth it. Let's see. Good morning to our Breakfast Club members over there. Let's see. In Periscope, we see you guys over there. Whoops. See. There you go. There's a delay. That's what we were hearing. All right, we're going to turn that down because then it's going to do like a loop-de-loop. Let's see. In social media, let us know where you're tuning in from, and maybe where are you traveling? Are you traveling to go with friends and family? Are you going to stay out of that whole mess? I know a lot of people that have to do it. It's not an option. Let's see. Mom's over there says good morning to all our beautiful club members. And Stephanie Reed says, hello, happy editing this glorious sunshine. Gilmore, the merrier day for today. Taz Zarate over there. Let's see. It says, I got news with someone very close to me that has lupus. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, speaking of which, I believe Selena Gomez is suffering from lupus as well.
30 seconds. Yeah, she is actually.
Yeah. It's no joke. It really, and it's one of those you don't see fully what the person's going through. It's more like, like if you break your leg, you're like, oh, like there's a cast that you must be in pain, right?
10 seconds.
But lupus is not quite that way and still very painful. All right, here we go. That's right.
That's right.
It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live TV audience over there at KVVB TV, Channel 33, Facebook Live, and Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live as well. We got a big show planned for you today. A little bit later on in the show, we've got Dr. Brooke Goldner to talk about her latest book, which has made #1 best-selling list, Goodbye Lupus. We'll be talking to Dr. Brooke Goldner. She also has another book. She makes a lot of visits in the radio, TV land. Maybe you've seen her already. She also has another book called Goodbye Autoimmune Disease. And doing so actually quite naturally with supermarket foods you can use. And she has a whole website set up where you can find out more information. It's called goodbyelupus.com. And you can find out all the information there. We're going to have her live here on the show. I got lots of questions. I have a lot of friends. Thankfully, I do not suffer personally from lupus, but I've had a lot of very close friends that do suffer from this. And anybody that knows anybody knows that this is a terrible disease to have. Oftentimes, you hear little to no recovery from it or anything that helps it. So I'm excited about this and talking to Dr. Goldner on her hyper-nourishing healing protocol, which has helped patients with lupus and a multitude of other diseases. So we'll talk about what diseases she's talking about. She's a keynote speaker and educator and goes around the U.S. and internationally talking about this and what she's discovered herself. She graduated with honors from Carnegie Mellon University for her genetic research in leukemia and neurobiology. And so we're going to be talking to her just around the corner on her plant-based nutrition and much, much more. So we'll be talking about that around the corner. Around this corner, we got Mr. Jesse Sanchez in the house. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So you got a jump start on the festive season. Is there a particular reason you guys go ahead and jump ahead? Is it because you're super thankful or?
We have a lot of family that can't make it on that specific day. So
that makes sense.
We have, we have our own little Thanksgiving dinners for them.
I like that. And that's even thoughtful when it comes to traveling. Because traveling around this time, not sure if you got the memo, it can be pretty stressful, right? People always say, don't travel during Thanksgiving. Rates are high. Well, speaking of which, the LAX is adding new shuttles. Yeah, new shuttles, free rail, and bus trips to alleviate this holiday rush from now until December 2nd. Because, it's not just before, it's after as well. Arriving passengers can catch a Sea Line shuttle bus by the pink pillars outside the terminals that will take them to a bus hub. There they could show their boarding pass and get free bus rides, wait for it, to Union Station, UCLA, Santa Monica, Long Beach, and other points. The G shuttle will take them to the Metro Green Line, and a boarding pass will allow them to ride the rails for free. So there you go. Not that you don't usually hear about that, right? That's kind of good. LAX, yeah, they've added a Thanksgiving week shuttle service to Santa Monica and Century City. Fares are $10 each way, and the hourly service will run from 5 a.m. to midnight every day through Monday, December 2nd, except for Thanksgiving Day. So according to Keith Wilschitz, LA World Airport's Deputy Director of Operations, that's a mouthful. What do? I am the LA World Airport's Deputy Director of Operations. Says this, quote, we're going to have 3.2 million people go through our airport. 3.2 million. My goodness. During the Thanksgiving holiday, that's basically the equivalent of 80% of the population of LA is going to go through our airport during the Thanksgiving holiday. So there you go. They said, yeah, for the most part, I deal with the stressed out people. I get them a little more relaxed because I have a little pizzazz to myself and I help them out a little bit. So that's one of the helpers, by the way, that said that. So there you go. You know what? But be nice. Be nice, especially to the workers there, right? Because if you had to go through, how many millions of people go through this? 3.2 million people. And a lot of people not happy, pretty upset at life, right? Because like they're like, oh, I got to get there, or maybe I'm running late. Be nice to everybody. Remember that it's nice to be nice and thankful as well. Because that's the only thing I don't like about this type of year when people are stressing out. Like, for example, Black Friday, it's like, you just came out from like having fun with your family and relatives. Maybe you got into a little squabble. I get it. But you remind yourself to be like thankful. And then all of a sudden you're back right at it that very next day to just get the latest and greatest gifting item, right? Because now you're stressing out. So enjoy it. Wait for the midnight. I don't know. So there was this story, speaking of which, a lot of people are thinking about this shopping, what to do. Is Black Friday, this is an interesting question. I want to get your input, Jesse, before I go into this article. Is Black Friday, in your opinion, or do you know about this already, which is it a good time to buy a car? What do you think? What say you?
I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to say no. Okay, well, you know what? That's a great question. And if I didn't have ad blocker on, I'd be able to get to this story pretty good. So, Black Friday deals, you know what, USA Today, you're killing me over here, are actually, let's see, car deals, according to the headline, it says you're likely to get cheaper financing in 2019. Yeah, who knew that? So there you go. So U.S. News announces this year's best Black Friday car deals. If I could get through to it. There it is. Okay. So number one on the list, let's see, is the 2019 Chevrolet Camaro. You in the market for a Camaro, Jesse?
No.
They have 0% financing for 60 months plus $750 cash back. Just this Black Friday. That's a pretty good idea, right? I mean, come on.
Not bad.
A lot of people are thinking, wait a minute. I always say the best time to go car shopping is at the end of the year, towards the end of the month, because like the salespeople are kind of desperate to get in that last sale, right? Because you always want to be at that last person, especially the one that like puts them right over the top. You're like, who's number 2 in position for number 1 salesperson? I want that person, right? Because they'll make a deal just to get, they'll give away their commission. I don't say give away your commission, but when I was in sales, I give away my commission a lot to the last like 2 or 3 people towards the end of the month because I got bonus, right? But back to this 2019 Toyota Camry, which actually scores an 8.6 best cars out of 10, has 0% financing for 60 months. That's pretty good. That's great, actually. The 2020 Hyundai Elantra, 0% financing for, get this, 72 months. Wow. The 2019 Honda Civic, I have to say, Honda Civic, fantastic vehicle, by the way. Lease for $189 per month for 36 months with $21.99 due at signing. $21.99 due at signing. The 2019 Subaru Outback, 0% financing for a limited term. The 2019 Hyundai Ioniq EV, that's an electric vehicle, has leasing for $109 per month for 36 months with $2,500 due at signing. Then there's the 2019 Kia Stinger, 0% financing for 66 months plus up to $2,000 cash back. Can't go wrong with that. And the 2019 Chevrolet Bolt rounds it up at 20% below MSRP. So there you go. That's the top list each month. U.S. News collects new and used car deals for all of these. These deals are listed by using zip codes. So deals may vary depending on location, buyer's credit score, and other factors. Of course, whether or not the salesperson is really desperate to get you into that car. So there you go. You know what? That's a great idea. Why instead of going to like Walmart, Target, and all the other big supermarkets, just go car shopping? Why not? Right? Start your year off right. There's nothing like that special car smell. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? And when you go, which by the way, I really got to take the car to get washed. What's your favorite like scent to put in the car, Jesse?
Ooh, I like the new car smell. Or something like cherry.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, cherry, that's a good one. That one or pina colada or both. I love that. Brenda's like, I hate pina colada. Why are you doing this to my scent? You know what I say? I say you need a pina colada for the day. How about that? Okay, let's see. We got Diana Chenevere in social media saying, yes, Aaron, you're right. Car deals are best at the end of the year and end of the month. Their biggest selling season is first quarter of a new year, probably partly because tax refunds come in. Great point. Pretty well over there. Judy Munoz says, I haven't been able to watch the live show in a while. It's happy to be here. We're glad to have you, Judy. Good to have you with us. Mike Young over there. Hey, haven't seen Mike in some time. Good morning, says to Aaron in the Breakfast Club. Good morning, Mike. All right. So and Kelly's Max on Periscope says this. I'm in sunny Philadelphia. I'll be home cleaning. Thanksgiving will be my only day off work. And, I know a lot of us are like thankful for that, right? I know we're going to be on a 3-day vacation. At least I am. I said, you know what? I work every single Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I think this year, going to spend it with the family, right? Spend it with the family. So why not? All right. You know what? Let's skip over to this story because this is one that a lot of you travelers are going to appreciate. How to avoid a long line at customs this holiday season. You're probably wondering about that. Well, it's pretty simple here. Hold on. Again, ad blocker. Oh my goodness. All right, so it's not so simple, but yes, it is. Okay, so it's simple. You just go ahead and download the mobile passport. That's the news there. You just download the mobile passport. It's simple. You get it on your device, and you're ready to go. How cool is that? So go ahead and do that. And we're going to do this. We're going to take a big break here right around the corner. There it is. There's the passport that you can check out. Go download it. It'll save you time, effort, and you're like, what? This is official. Isn't it funny? Like everything that was like you had to have in person now is all in your mobile phone. I mean, you got your Visa. Do you do Google Pay or any one of those, Jesse?
I do Google Pay.
You do?
Yeah, I like it. It's nice.
I got to get signed up with that. I don't know how to do that. But yeah, download the mobile passport and get it. Get yourself a passport. If you're going to do anything, I know we got to do that as well for our family member. But now's a good time to do that as well. So go ahead and get that done. And you can avoid long lines. So there you go. We're going to talk to you around the corner with more right after these messages. Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this. Oh my goodness, Jesse. I'm trying to get okay. I have a pop-up blocker, which is like great, right? Wrong. Because evidently, like USA Today will not let you look at any of their stuff unless you allow the ads. So if you have a pop-up blocker, it's like, no for you, no, no, no. Let's see.
That's actually kind of smart.
Let's see. Inspect pop-up. Remove. I'm going to remove it from Chrome. I'm sorry. I love you, ad blocker, but I can't look at half of the stuff that we're wanting to talk about. Which is great national news, right? Like, come on. Yes, I pull from multiple sites. Let's see. Let's see if it pulls up now. And for those of you tuning in, yes, we're on our behind the scenes. Let's see. Does it allow it? Yay. I always knew USA Today had way too many ads, by the way. Now I know for sure. They have like 5 ads plus a video ad. They're making bank over there. Here it is. The mobile passport app gives travelers the chance to opt out of the traditional customs queue, pick a shorter line. And, okay, so should we talk about this or is it old news? You pretty much get it. It's free, by the way. So
I wish they had that for like a driver's license.
yeah, right. Because you know what, it's true. You don't know how many times I'm like, oh, I forgot my driver's license. What if I get pulled over? Right?
But yeah, but you always have your phone.
Yeah, you always have your phone. Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to share this because somebody out there needs to make that happen. And you're like,
Yep.
look, if my passport works, which this is kind of, you know what? It's now if it works for a airliner, would the mobile passport work for a police officer, or would they be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's photoshopped, bub?
Yeah.
You know, you go into the jail, you go into the slammer. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's always those questions on like whether or not it's fake or.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which I never did that as a kid. I never subscribed to those fake IDs. I always envied the ones that did though, because I was like, you go on with your bad self.
We got 20 seconds. I know, right? I wouldn't have the courage to do that.
Yeah, my parents brought me up in such a way that I was like, I do not want to get in trouble. It just
Because then you get the belt. 10 seconds.
see, we both got the belt. We did. I mean, look how we turned out.
5 seconds.
Not that I recommend that for other people. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM, KVVB TV 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, and anywhere you can get us on social media with video. Yes, we got lots of people tuning in today. We got Bobby Stamps, Diana Chenevier, Tazarate, Bobby over there saying 200,000 orders for the Tesla truck just reported. I'm not going to lie. Jesse, I'm a little astounded by this, but at $39,000, I did the math and I thought, you know what? I could see being one of these purchasers. Now, would you, if you had like just 39,000 lying around, would you be like, you know what? Yeah, sign up for that.
No. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, look, to their own testament, and Elon Musk, I'm not gonna lie, I thought his comeback was really good. Because granted, it was a steel ball. All right, let's just like back this up with the bulletproof windows, right? Like it was a steel ball going at it, and as he pointed out, it didn't go through. It didn't crack the whole glass, right? It just cracked like right around it. So, and if that had been a bullet, would that have gone through? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Don't quote me on that. But he said something very smart. He was like, yeah, at least it didn't go through. I actually had that happen one time. I used to sell replacement windows, those vinyl double pane windows, and we would hit that thing over and over, and I would hit it with my measuring tape, which was really heavy, and I would hit it really hard, and they were like, it was a startle factory. Everybody was like, right? But then one day I got a little too rambunctious there, and all of a sudden it finally cracked. And I was like, right there, I'm going, these are the great double pane windows, 3/16 of an inch, very thick, double insulated vinyl windows, which is great for the insulation for the windows from the heat to the cold, and also soundproofing that helps do the sound, right? And when burglars bang this, and I did that, the whole thing cracked open right in their living room, and I was like, but you see how it didn't go through the second pane of glass? They would have to work that much harder. And I sold it. I sold the windows to them, and they were like, yeah, we like this. Yeah, because you have two windows to go through on double insulated pane glass. For those of you that have only one, boom, it's done. And it makes a lot of sound, by the way, because it has a popping sound because it's insulated, right? Anyway, my point is this. You go on with your bad self, Elon, because... because it happens. It's bound to happen. I again, when you hit it that many times, let's see, I had 3 appointments a day, 6 days a week. Let's see. So that was a lot of pounding on the glass, and I had it for like a year and a half. It was bound to break. So I actually get it that it like got stressed out of the stressing disorder over there. So there you go. Okay. In other news, which we have lots of it, there's this story, which some of you might want to know about. Pork. Yeah, pork recall of 2019. I know what you're thinking. What? Did the turkeys have something to do with this?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so. More than 500 million pounds of pork products are being recalled because they were not, wait for it, inspected. They were not inspected. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service announced this. Maywood, Illinois-based Morris Meat Packing is recalling approximately 515,000 pounds of various raw pork products because they were, quote, produced without the benefit of federal inspection and outside inspection hours. Were they going like overtime on their hours over there? Going, we got to get this pork out.
It sounds like it. Someone really dropped the ball.
Yeah, right? Not the metal ball either.
No.
The Tesla glass. The affected items were produced on Saturdays between November 25th and November 9th, 2019. A list of items is available at fsis.usda.gov along with the photos of product labels. Also recalled, oh no, cheese nips. You like cheese nips? Yeah, cheese nips were recalled. Let's see, and select salad products. So get on that list and make sure you're not handing these out at this time of the year. Do you ever get sick when you go eating like at a bunch of places that have made the food because they haven't washed their hands or stored it properly?
Not that I know of, and if I do, I really don't want to know.
Yeah, you and me both. You and me both. And then there's this story, which, you know what? This is about the time that a lot of accidents happen, right? Family, everybody's like, you know, getting a little drunk on the rum and the eggnog. I don't know if people do eggnog at this time of year, but, you know, maybe just the drinks, right? You're going to be like, so I'm going to save you some time and some money here. This is a story which was in North Carolina. Evidently, this man did not get the memo. He went in for a, wait for it, cat scratch. He went in for a cat scratch, right? And you know what? I'm gonna just give you some perspective on this. A cat scratch is nothing to, like, you know, be little, really. Have you ever gotten a cat scratch, Jesse?
Yeah, they hurt. Their claws are razor sharp.
Yeah. So you get a cat scratch. You're like, you know what? I might want to go to the ER, right? Would you though? Would you go to the ER, Jesse?
No. Knowing me, I'd probably just put some alcohol and some duct tape.
Now, see, you are among those that are kind of smart there because this man evidently didn't realize that the pricing over there is a lot when it comes to ER visits. And anybody that doesn't have insurance will tell you this, by the way. So he was charged more than $2,300 after he went to the emergency room for the cat scratch. Shyam Patil of Charlotte said he was scratched by a cat outside his home in September. Since it drew blood, his doctor said he should get to the ER to get a rabies shot just in case. While waiting at the ER, he said he Googled the cost for rabies vaccinations, was stunned by the results. One article told a story similar to his where a woman was bitten by a cat and was billed more than $40,000. He also said that the nurses and doctors at the ER were unable to provide him a cost estimate, which is a little upsetting. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, you know, how much is this going to cost me? Do I want to check myself out or not? It should be like a bill of services, right? He said that scared of what the bill could be, walked out of the ER without the vaccination, but still got billed $2,300 for a level 3 emergency department visit. He says, I was like, I didn't even take the shot. What is this bill for? There were additional bills on the charge, including a tetanus shot update that was about to be due and an anti-inflammatory pill he took there for the possible rabies exposure. The charges added up to a nearly $2,600. Now, I will say this. In, like, the ER's defense, if you are diabetic and you get a scratch like this, you need to go to the ER. This happened to my mom. Thankfully, she has insurance. For those that don't, I pity the fool that has to go to the ER because it's expensive. Like, minimum charge. You just go and visit and check in, $1,200 right there. How do I know this? Don't ask. It's
Brooke is ready to go.
Yeah, it's just terrible. All right, we're going to take a break here on The Morning Show. When we get back, we got more right after this with Dr. Brooke Goldner talking about her latest book, yes, and how you can actually help out your lupus. If you have this, you definitely want to talk about this later, right after these messages. Just stay tuned right there. It's Goodbye Lupus with Dr. Brooke Goldner coming up next. Stay tuned. All right, there we go. So we're waiting on Dr. Brooke Goldner. We have her, actually, waiting in the wings. And very interesting. I got a lot of questions to ask, right? A lot of questions. Not sure if I'll have time to get them all answered. But we'll find out. She's also the founder of veganmedicaldoctor.com. And, I love that she figured out how to do this with vegetables, right? But there are some vegetables. I need to find out what is on this list of vegetables. Because it's got to be like a whole... It's not just go and just get these items, I would imagine. I would imagine there's this whole...
Whole Foods.
There's this whole Whole Foods. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what would you eat? Macaroni and cheese? No, that's just me. That's bad for you.
Oh, my. Oh, macaroni and cheese. Yeah. Let's see. She's been in a lot of videos and documentaries, such as Eating You Alive, Whitewash, The Conspiracy Against Your Health, Goodbye Lupus, and Super Healthy Meals for Your Family. She's been on the Home and Family Show. Love that show. That's a great show, by the way. Natural News Radio, Health Conspiracy Radio, Wellness Radio, and now The Morning Show on ABC News Radio and KVVB TV 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube Live. Do you guys YouTube, by the way? We need more subscribers over there. I'm going to send you to... We really do. I had not worked on it for quite some time. I think I'm back to possibly working on it. I'm not sure. Bobby Stamps over there saying, I have Kaiser HMO. Love the coverage. Fully taken care of. Good job, Bobby. Good job. It's expensive, though, when you're, like, self-employed and you don't have that special... Like, it's expensive.
40 seconds. Yes. Not having insurance is horrible.
Oh, it's terrible. Let's see. Angie Guzman. Thank you for the reaction there. They all count them up, by the way. Thank you for sharing, too, Judy. We appreciate you. All right. How much time do we have on this break?
We got 10 seconds left.
All right. See, I was right. USA Today does bog down my computer with all their ads. Every time. Every time.
5 seconds.
All right. That's right.
That's right.
It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM, KVVB TV, 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube Live. We appreciate each and every one of you. On today's show, it's Goodbye Lupus' very own bestseller, Doctor in the House. I'm so excited to have her here. I've been waiting on this. I was asked if she could be on. The moment I heard that she had helped with her own lupus and that she had this, well, of course, I was excited about this, and I wanted to share this with you. I've got a lot of friends. We got Dr. Brooke Goldner. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Doctor.
Good morning.
Doctor, I'm so glad you're here with us because I've got to tell you one thing. I have a lot of friends right now that suffer from lupus, and I'm always looking for the latest and greatest thing. But I understand you yourself were diagnosed. Can you tell us the type of lupus that you were diagnosed with and how you overcame this yourself?
Absolutely, and thank you so much for inviting me here. I love to share this because I love helping other people get healthy the way I did. So I was diagnosed with lupus at 16, and at the time I had stage 4 nephritis, so I had stage 4 kidney failure being caused by the lupus, as well as arthritis and rashes, fatigue, migraines, the whole bit of it. And then it progressed as I got older. I mean, I was treated with high-dose steroids, 2 years of chemotherapy to try to save my kidneys, which it did save my kidneys, but boy, was that a rough last years of high school. And then by the time I went to medical school, the lupus had progressed again, and I started getting mini strokes from blood clots. So I had pretty serious disease that lasted 12 years of my life before I got better 14 years ago.
Okay, so you have experienced all of that. Now, how long have you been symptom-free since having been diagnosed then?
month, as of last month, it has been 14 years that I've had no symptoms and normal laboratory testing.
Wow. Okay, so for those tuning in right now, and I have quite a few friends that I'm going to send this to, by the way, which actually have lupus, and there's a lot of things out there that claim they help. But you personally do a lot of one-on-one coaching and have helped a lot of people in your own. Have you ever met anybody that you couldn't help?
Well, yeah, I mean, the only people I can't help are the people who aren't ready to do the work. Listen, I'm a medical doctor, and I did 3 years of genetic research in neurobiology and leukemia. I went to medical school. I was chief resident. I learned so much about biology and Western medicine, and nothing I learned could help anybody actually truly get their health back. It's about keeping people alive. I mean, you can cure a bacterial infection, but for things like autoimmune disease, you're just expected to have it for the rest of your life. And when this happened to me, I healed by accident. I never actually thought it was through nutrition, and I never thought that diet had anything to do with disease, because if it did, they would have taught me that, right?
Right.
So the great news is you can go to the supermarket and get your health back. But the tough part is most people are very addicted to terrible things that they're used to eating. And so you have to be really motivated to say, yeah, I'm not going to eat those sugars I'm addicted to. I'm not going to eat that turkey on Thanksgiving. I'm not going to eat the pumpkin pie. I'm going to eat all these fresh, healthy foods. I'm going to have that big kale salad, all that kind of stuff. And while it's simple, what you need to do is simple. Actually making the effort can be really difficult for people. So the only people I can help are the ones who are so motivated, they're willing to do whatever it takes. And if they're willing to change their diet and they're willing to change their lifestyle, they can get their health back. And the results are typical. I've helped thousands of people all over the world get their health back from lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, scleroderma, Sjogren's, diseases that they had for decades that went away in a matter of weeks to a couple of months when they changed their diet. It's really outstanding and amazing how well it works. But again, you have to be ready and willing to make those changes for yourself.
Well, and I'm glad you said that, because it is true. I know from firsthand experience, I don't suffer from lupus, but just staying away from some of these foods can be very challenging, even though you're like, I have self-will, and I had self-will for like a good 3 months, and then I got off the self-will balance, and I'm like, oh man, now I'm right back into this cycle. But when it comes to lupus, can you first of all share with those of us that don't understand what lupus sufferers suffer from? I know Selena Gomez has talked about this as well. There's a lot of things that people and friends, we just don't understand about lupus. Can you give us like a glimpse into the life of somebody that's suffering from lupus?
Absolutely. And there's a lot of celebrities, right? I mean, Selena Gomez, Nick Cannon, Toni Braxton, Lady Gaga. It's very common nowadays, although when I was diagnosed, it was fairly rare. People are sicker nowadays than they were even 4 years ago. So it's getting more and more common. But what lupus is, it's dysfunction of the immune system. So your immune system is supposed to protect you against illness, right? If you get a bacteria or a virus, or if you bang your knee, your immune system goes in to save the day. It's supposed to kill the viruses, kill the bacteria, restore the blood flow, and repair the knee. But if you have chronic inflammation that's being caused by eating the wrong foods and the wrong lifestyle, because stress is inflammatory, poor sleep is inflammatory, depression, anxiety, stress are inflammatory. And so most people walking around are eating inflammatory foods, not getting enough sleep, and have a lot of stress in their life, right? Most common reason people go to the doctor is depression. So people are set up to create a ton of inflammation in your body. And when you've got that much inflammation happening every day, you can trigger your genes for illness. And so for the majority of people in America, that illness is going to be heart disease. For a lot of people, it'll be diabetes, and for some of us, it'll be autoimmune disease. When you get something like lupus triggered, the immune system is now malfunctioning. The wires are crossed, and instead of your immune system going out and killing bacteria and viruses, it can attack your own organs. And so that's what happened to me. It's very common to have kidney failure. That's what Selena Gomez has, a new kidney, right? Because the immune system goes, hey, what's that over there? I don't know, never seen it before. Let's kill it, And then next thing you know, you have no kidney. I've had people who've had it in their heart, their lungs, and even their brain, and were able to get a full recovery. But it is a terrifying disease, and while there's many autoimmune diseases out there, lupus is one of the scariest because it doesn't just cause skin issues or arthritis, but it can actually destroy your vital organs and kill you. And usually people who die from it are very young, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s.
Well, if you're just joining us, we're speaking to Dr. Brooke Goldner on her latest series of books, actually. Goodbye Lupus is one of them. You got the autoimmune disease gone forever and much, much more. Doc, I've got a question for you. It seems you understand what's going on in the world when it comes to eating habits. Can you shed some light on why you think possibly people are getting sicker and being more diagnosed with lupus than ever before?
Absolutely. So it's a combination of things. Number one, the food we have available is the worst it's ever been. So the soil's being depleted of nutrients. So most of our vegetables we eat are very nutrient deficient. So we need to eat more than we used to need, and most people don't eat any at all. I mean, the most commonly eaten vegetable is ketchup followed by French fries.
Yeah.
So people aren't getting anywhere near the nutrition that they need, even if they do eat some healthy foods. We have created a food system based on things that are extremely addictive and get us high rather than nourish us. And, you know, food is by far, in my opinion, the most addictive and deadly drug there is. You know, I have had a few patients with cocaine and methamphetamine addiction, but I've had far more, almost every one of them, that are addicted to burgers and fries and sugar and, you know, cheese than anything else. And that's what they're dying from, is overdosing on these addictive foods. And so when people are planning their meals, they're not planning it on, what does my body need today? Oh, I need some water. I need some salad. No, they're thinking, what do I crave? What do I want? And so people are living by their addictions rather than what their bodies need. And that's why when you said, you know, I held out for 3 months and then I messed up and I was back to where I started, it's because you got high again, right? It's just like an alcoholic. If they have one drink, they're back at the bar and they have to start all over again. It's the same thing. And so when people realize that it's not that I love cheese, it's that I'm addicted to cheese, I'm a junkie, and I need to get clean, then they can start taking those steps. And what happens is after about a month or two of eating really well, the addictions fade away and you actually start enjoying healthy food. But usually after about 2 weeks, the addictions get worse. At 2 weeks, the cravings intensify. And so when I talk to a lot of people about when they quit, often without the right support, they quit at the 2 week mark because they go, it's 2 weeks, I'm still having cravings, forget it, I can't do this. Meanwhile, if they waited 2 more weeks, they would have overcome the craving. So that's the big problem we have, is that we've got nutrient-poor food and we've got terrible addictions and access to processed food. I mean, you don't even have to get out of your chair anymore. You can get junk food from a restaurant delivered to your door, right? So, and you don't have to be active. You can sit on your couch, food comes to you. You don't even have to get up to go to your stove. So we're less active, we're higher stress, we're sleeping worse, and we're eating worse. And it's created such horrible amounts of disease nowadays that this current generation of children, for the first time in history, is not predicted to outlive their parents. Where it used to be every generation lived longer, we're going the opposite way now. My youngest patient with lupus is 2 years old. Another one's 6 years old. It used to be rare to have it happen as a teenager, but it's getting younger and it's getting worse.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's getting so bad that we need to talk a little bit more on this, but we're up against a hard break. So I'm going to invite you to stay with us. If you can just stay with us. I know you've got a lot of people to talk with. Do you have a couple more minutes? If we just got to go to a break, and then we're going to finish off with this, because I got a lot of questions, and social media is blowing up with questions as well. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. We got Dr. Brooke Goldner with us, the author of these fantastic series on lupus and much, much more, any autoimmune disease, talking about how you could change what you eat. And we'll talk about more right after these messages, right after this. Stay tuned.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I've never even heard of it before. Ah, that sucks. It's like my medication makes me gain weight. It's like, what do you want?
All right, we're on our commercial break over here. And whoops, sorry there, Jesse. I think your your audio was on. Yeah, we're just talking behind the scenes about this here with lupus. If you know somebody that suffers from lupus, it's definitely one of those quiet diseases people don't really share or talk about. So I'm glad we're talking about this now. Oftentimes, a lot of misinformation's out there. And if you're just joining us, we're coming back with Dr. Brooke Goldner. Because, look, normally we have limited time here. But I feel somebody somewhere needs this information. And they need to take it seriously. Because this could be a really debilitating disease for many people out there. And you may not even know it. Like, Jesse, you just said kind of off air but on air that you've never even heard of lupus, right? But
20 seconds. Yeah, I've never even heard of it before.
yeah, and yet I guarantee you probably know people in your own circle that have it and just don't talk about it.
Probably 10 seconds.
All right, here we go.
Call.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM, KVVB TV 33, and various other platforms. We got with us Dr. Brooke Goldner on her latest book, which is all about health and wellness, especially when it comes to lupus and any other autoimmune diseases. Doctor, I know we kept you through the break because, and I rarely do this, by the way, but I find that it's interesting. A lot of people are suffering from this, and yet there's a lot of misinformation out there as well. For those that maybe have a friend or a relative, how can they present your information in such a way that the person will say, you know what, okay, this isn't just some other gimmick. This isn't just something that's out there. This is something that will really help me.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right, is that if you get on Google, everybody says they have the answer.
Right.
And I always tell people, listen, everybody with a mouth has an opinion, but that doesn't mean they have experience, right? For me, I not only have the experience of having had lupus and being a medical doctor, but I also have reversed it in myself and many others, and I have cases and cases to show that that's happening. In fact, every day I get tagged on Instagram, Facebook by people who just read my book, and there they are. They got better all by themselves, which is what I do. So one of the things I do is I share the entire nutrition protocol that I use to reverse autoimmune disease. I share it for free. I don't charge people for information. I believe that health should be a right, and that should not be something that you have to pay for in order to get your health back. So while my entire protocol is in my book, Goodbye Lupus and Goodbye Autoimmune Disease, I teach the protocol online for free as well. And so I'm actually just about to post my next online free webinar classes, and people go to goodbyelupus.com. I'm going to hopefully get those up today, but if not today, by tomorrow, where what I do is I teach 3 full classes on all the contents of my books and how to use the protocol to get the fastest recovery possible. I hold live Q&As for free. I've been up till 1 in the morning at times with people.
Wow.
Usually 1,000 people at a time show up, and I stay online with them for 5-6 hours straight just answering their questions, because I earnestly and desperately want people to know this. Because, one, it's your own life on the line, but also it's people's mothers and fathers and grandparents. And, there's people who are needlessly suffering and dying from diseases that can be reversed and treated easily. I just go into the supermarket, and it hurts my heart every day. So I'm just driven to get the information out there. And, I say, hey, listen, there's no big kale out there paying me to do this. So this really is a real thing. And I'm there to help as much as I can for free. My husband and I have free website, SmoothieShred.com. We share free recipes, exercise, support, and we do that all just because we want to pay it forward.
Well, and I can see what you're doing as really kind of like a charge of commission, right? Like, unfortunately, you had to suffer through this. You had to figure out what would work with you. And even your research and time and going to school, was it backed by your having this yourself, or did it just kind of come together with both? Because I understand you learned a lot about plant nutrition. What made you want to become a doctor in the first place?
Oh, goodness. So I've always loved the sciences. I am a big nerd. And when I was diagnosed with lupus at 16, I was extremely ill. They gave me 6 months to live. My kidneys were failing so quickly unless I did this experimental treatment with chemotherapy, which failed for Selena Gomez, but they did it for 2 years straight. So
Oh, wow.
16, 18, I was getting chemotherapy. I was on high-dose medication, 7 pills a day, just to try to save me. So I wasn't really busy with my social life. So I kept busy with my book. And for me, it was like, I figured if I could understand the human body intellectually, it gave me some distance from what was happening to me. So I became fascinated with biology and chemistry. And I actually was in all, AP and honors courses through high school, still graduated in the top 10 of my class because I was just reading all my textbooks and I became more nerdy. But for me, I think it was a combination of just, I love biology. I love all the sciences. I also have a great passion for service. My family was Holocaust survivors. My mother immigrated here as a child. She was born in Poland after the war. And so I was raised that we have to take care of each other, that we have to all, as a people, we have to look out for each other. We have to take care of each other. My mom had me volunteering in hospitals, feeding people from 14 years old. So I've always been involved in hospitals, most as a volunteer for my kid. But, I was just raised with service being a huge part of who I am. So I just decided, going through college, I did genetic research because I thought maybe I'll find a cure for lupus. Maybe I'll do research. Turns out I hate being stuck in the lab all day with test tubes. I'm clumsy. I break them a lot. I need to be with people.
Right.
So that's why I do medical school. Although my doctors told me not to. They said, it's too much stress. It's not enough sleep. You're probably going to get sick. I did get sick. I almost died again from the mini strokes.
Oh, man.
For me, it was just this passion in my heart that I figured my goal originally was I know how to live a productive life of passion and purpose, even with chronic illness. And a lot of people give up on their lives when they get diagnosed with chronic illness. They sit home on disability and they're depressed and they feel like they've lost everything. And I always felt like a lucky, blessed person with lupus because, hey, my family was in the Holocaust. I was born free and I was able to pursue my education and everything I wanted to. And so I wanted to teach people with chronic illness that they could live and have good lives in spite of their illnesses. I tripped and fell into nutrition. I never knew this. I actually changed my diet because I was trying to lose weight for my wedding. My husband wanted to marry me even though I was sick, and he was going to take care of me because I couldn't have children. I was going to be disabled very shortly. I was probably going to be disabled or dead by my 40s. But he said he'd rather have a short life with me than anyone else, and he just wanted to be there with me. And so it was his, he was a trainer at the time, but his specialty is in metabolism and nutrition. And I asked him to put me on the diet to help me get fit for the wedding. And because I was already vegetarian, but I was a huge cheese and processed food addict, I had to give up all my dairy and my processed foods. And I accidentally became plant-based, eating tons of raw foods, broccoli, cauliflower, omega-3s, water, exercising every day. And I did lose weight for the wedding. I lost over 20 pounds. I was super fit for the wedding, but for the first time in my life since I was 16, I had no arthritis. I had tons of energy, and 3 months later, my labs were normal for the first time since I was 16, and I was 28. And like I said, that's 14 years ago. I've had 2 healthy boys. I am, at 40, I was on the cover of a Fit Over 40 magazine where I thought I was going to be in a wheelchair.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I feel, for me, I feel like my entire life was a gift, including being sick, because if I wasn't sick, I'd never be able to help people in the way I do now. I feel like this is just the path I was meant to take.
Well, look, Doctor, I am glad, in a weird about way, that you actually were, only because you're one of the few that took charge of it and you made something happen, and you made it for the rest of us, those that either are going to, because let's face it, a lot of us hear this type of stuff and we go, oh, this isn't going to happen to me, and we continue eating the way we're eating, and then something suddenly pops up. The doctors talk to us, there's a lot of medications, there's a lot of trial clinic things out there, and what you're saying to me is, if you just change the way you eat, you can help yourself, your own body, instead of work against you, work for you. Now, for those tuning in right now that don't have the book, they want to get the book, what will they find in the book, perhaps, that will give them a little bit of more hope that they too can do this?
Absolutely. So my first book that I published in 2015 is Goodbye Lupus. And Goodbye Lupus is my story of my life and the 6 steps to healing with supermarket food. It's short. I didn't make it really long. I want people to actually finish it, which they do, to the point. And so the beginning of it is my story, which gives people hope that, here's really what can happen for your life. And then here's exactly what to do. It's on Amazon. It became a bestseller in the pre-order stage before anyone knew who the heck I was, because people were searching for it. So if you look at the reviews, people all over the world have gotten their health back just following that book. Now, over the past decade that I've been teaching people disease reversal, there's been people who read the book and just didn't do it, right? Now, my initial board certification is psychiatry and neurology, and I'm actually a trauma specialist. I was medical director at a nonprofit helping homeless youth become able to recover from their traumas, get back into society. And I did that because I felt that the psychological side of our health is actually driving our health more than anything else, right? So what I've discovered over the past decade is there's a lot of reasons people don't take action even when they have the right information. And so in Goodbye Autoimmune Disease, I review the nutrition protocol, and then about half of it is all the different ways that people sabotage themselves, how to overcome trauma and self-sabotage and food addiction, and how to learn how to take care of yourself and realize that food is love, but not when you're feeding your addiction, but when you're feeding yourself. And then at the next half of it is case studies in reversing many different autoimmune diseases that I've helped people with over the past decade, so that people could find themselves, oh, here's rheumatoid arthritis, here's multiple sclerosis, here's heart disease. Cool. And people have been telling me that they've been just highlighting it and bookmarking it and finding that they're finally realizing and unearthing why they haven't actually taken the action or why they keep going back to their old ways. And so that book was really just meant to help people actually get to the finish line and stop stopping themselves.
Well, Doctor, I want to say thank you for spending time with us. We've run out of time. We literally have 20 seconds. So for those that want more information, where did they go?
GoodbyeLupus.com.
There it is, GoodbyeLupus.com. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. Thank you, Doctor, for spending time with us here on the morning show. We are going to follow you, forever.
Thank you.
All right, so there you go. We appreciate you. Again, stay tuned for more programming right here on ABC News Radio. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Make it a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. And for those of you still here with us on KVVB TV 33, Facebook Live, Periscope TV, various platforms, we want to say a big thank you. We see your comments in social media. There's a lot of them. Let's see. Mike Young says, I know several people close to me with lupus. Definitely going to pass on the info. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you. Taz Erecte says, have an amazing day, everyone. Be safe and be good to each other and take care of your health. Let's see. Also, the website, again, for those of you that are wondering, again, it's goodbyelupus.com. That's one of her many websites. I got a couple others here for you as well. Let's see. There is one. I thought I saw it. Okay, but go there. You'll get all the information you can. She's also on Facebook. She's also on Twitter. She's also on Instagram. You can send comments as well about her program. And I know there's a one-on-one. If you need that specialized help, she also does one-on-one coaching as well, which for some of us, let's face it, we need it, right? We need that what is it they call accountability partner, right? You need that accountability, and you kind of need to stay on it, because it's true. I know people with gout disease and many other autoimmune diseases, and they're told, stay away from this. It's going to flare up. Stay away from that. And what do? They have it, and then they get it in their ear. They go, yeah, I know, but it's so good for you. Kind of like me and cheese, right? Yeah, sure, I'm lactose intolerant. I just take a pill, lactate, boom, done, right? But if I had an autoimmune disease, oh man, I can tell you right now, for my family and my family's family, like I would be like, okay, I need to like seriously check this out. All right, well, we got to let you guys go. We're going to see you tomorrow. Let's see, Maureen. Oh, Maureen, before we go, everybody says, after following this protocol for 1.5 years, I'm symptom free. Don't ever want to go back. I did it for just purchasing her books, Maureen. Good job, Maureen. All right, well, everybody else, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same channel. Bye-bye, everyone. All right, we're still here because I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you, Maureen, for chiming in there. It's always helpful to have somebody else other than the doctor actually talking, like one of her many. And so good job. Good job. Let's see. 1.5 years symptoms free. Good job, Maureen. And I can almost guarantee you, everybody, Maureen probably was skeptical like the majority of those of you listening right now, right? Like there's somebody out there that has lupus that says, oh man, I've seen it all. And, or they're thinking, my doctors say it's something else. They say they don't fully know. They say, take these pills. Now, I'm not going to bash anybody that takes pills because I've always been an advocate for there's certain diseases and certain things out there. I don't bash taking medication, but I do say this. Why don't you supplement that with how you eat? Now, speaking of plant-based, there's a lot of research being done, and I myself am an advocate of being plant-based, or at least having more plants in your eating habits, right? I don't like to say diet, because the word diet just feels as though it's like one of those, like, oh man, like it sounds frustrating, right? You're like, especially around this time with all of everybody eating right now, known as the holidays. Okay, so for those of you that want more information, go follow our good doctor. You can find it at goodbyelupus.com, as well as I myself drink a drink. I've laid off the drink for quite some time. I'm gonna post it pretty soon on my social media. It's plant-based as well, all the nutrients that you need as well. I have not read her book. I do not know what's in the book. I just know that it was highly recommended to me by others, as well as people, as we could see right here, that are saying, yeah, it was really good. Look, Maureen in social media, and she's on Facebook. For those of you in Periscope, you can't see her comments, so I'm just going to say it. Those LinkedIn Live and also YouTube Live, you can't see it. But Maureen Muniak says, yes, I was skeptical, but pretty amazing and upsetting that diet alone stopped this in its tracks. I can imagine that. I can imagine that. I can imagine that you're thinking, why is this information not out there? But luckily it is. Yes, that's right. Right here on the morning show. So what are you going to do after this? Well, if you are finding this information very helpful, then I ask you to please share. We're going to make a couple of clips as well. So we'll have it defined down, because I know people don't always want to go through all of the video just to see it. So we're going to make couple of clips of that interview so that it can be put up. We're going to have it everywhere so that you can share it. If you find it and you think it makes you smarter for having listened to it, then please share it. If you find that this information is good for somebody that you know, here's what I ask of you. Send it to that one person and say, look, I love you so much. I know you probably are thinking, is this something that actually works? But hey, you know what? In fact, I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to buy her book. I'm going to give it to you, but you must read it. In fact, I'm going to sit down with you and we're going to read it together, because I know this is a debilitating disease. So you could do that, or you could just give it and hope that they read it. But sometimes you'll be like a month later going, did you read it? They're like, no, I'm getting around to it. You're like, oh, come on. Do I have to worry about you more than you worry about yourself? So if you're this person, which actually is suffering from lupus, then make this your wake-up call. Say to yourself, just for a minute, what if this might be possible? What if? What's the worst that can happen by me buying this book and or reading this book? Or I don't know, maybe borrowing it from a friend because I can't afford it. Because I know some of you are out there going, I can barely afford to eat. I'm on food stamps. I get it. Trust me. It's impossible sometimes to go and shop for good, healthy food. But yet then, of course, we go, and pay a lot of money for the doctors and much, much more. So here's what I got to say about that. Take time for yourself, make the necessary adjustments, and maybe, just maybe, you'll feel a little bit better than you did before you listened to this. All right, so that's enough of my rant. We'll see you tomorrow right here on The Morning Show with a new set of guests as well. Thank you for watching this. We hope you like, share, comment, follow, friend us. Anything you want to do, just do it. And if you got good information, just like the doctor, send it our way. Send it to themorningshowonair@gmail.com. Make it a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Remember, life is worth living, so live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.